Hi everyone, welcome to Agendas 101. As most of you know, students in grades 5 through 9 at Vision are required to use an agenda. Students in grades 10 through 12 have access to a paper agenda should they choose to use it. So why does Vision have you use an agenda? Well, that's why I'm here, to help you understand the reasons behind it and to give you some helpful suggestions. Research has shown that students who use agendas earn higher grades. Use an agenda, earn better grades. Well, that seems like a no-brainer to me. And organization is an important key skill for success in life. An agenda helps you be organized. Disorganization, research has shown, increases the potential for students to receive lower grades, complete fewer assignments, be less motivated, experience greater frustration with school, and possibly have lower self-esteem. We don't want that for any of you. So, without further ado, the top 5 reasons to use an agenda. Reason number 5, it can help you set goals. Many times I've written out ideas in the margins and drawn doodles. Later, I can look at those ideas and pencil in deadlines for when I'd like to have them done. Remember to break goals down into small steps. It's easier to keep up your efforts in accomplishing your goals when you can see progress. Reason number 4, it helps you focus on important things. Do you ever feel like everything in your life is urgent? Well, this is a common feeling, and it happens when you forget to prioritize activities by importance. A good weekly agenda will allow you to showcase the most important activities, keep track of them, and avoid running out of time because of poor time management. Reason number 3, it can help us get more done. Most of us have free time in our schedules that we aren't even aware of. Your agenda can help you see the times you do have available for other things. As you get older, your responsibilities will increase, so developing good time management and organizational habits will benefit you for the rest of your life. Reason number 2, it improves your memory. If everything you need to do is swimming around in your head, there's no room for anything else, like creativity, for example. So, getting it out of your head and onto paper allows you to think about other things that are more fun. Over time, it also improves your memory because you remember to write in it and look at it daily. Trust me, it really does work. Reason number 1, it takes the stress off of you. This is possibly one of the best reasons to use an agenda. Even if your schedule is jam-packed 24/7, seeing it all down on paper makes you feel like you have a handle on things. It also helps you know you won't forget anything. That is, as long as you wrote it down. Let's get real for a minute. There are those days when you feel like melting down because you don't think you can get everything done. Let's face it, we've all had days like these, and sometimes we just can't avoid them. But using an agenda can sure cut back on these days. If you've been in any of my classes, you've probably noticed my agenda sitting on my desk or close at hand. I live by my agenda, and there's a reason for that. Using my agenda has helped me to have less of these stress-induced meltdowns. It's a safe place for me to write things down to accomplish and know at the end of the week I've accomplished everything I wanted to and more. Yes, I use the calendar on my smartphone for appointments and such when I'm out and about, but I always put them in my agenda later that day. I read an article a few years ago that said writing things down meant that you were 7 times more likely to remember it. Bottom line, using your agenda will help you feel less stressed and let you know you are on top of things. So let's take a look at my planner/agenda first. I have my name on it. That is really important for you to do because if you leave it somewhere in the school, it can get returned to you if it has your name on it. Another feature I'd like you to notice is my binder clip. I have a binder clip here, clipping all the previous weeks and months together so that when I go to open my agenda, I automatically open to the current week. I highly, highly recommend that you look at this option of a binder clip and see if it works for you. I know there are a few of you who really like to use the folded page method. The only problem with that is it makes your agenda really thick, and a lot of times it won't fit in your binder, or it's just a cumbersome problem. So I look at the binder clip. You can usually find one pretty cheaply or laying around. All right, so let's see how I use mine. You can see it's very colorful for one. I have a Zentangle type of coloring book planner for this year. I have appointments. I have things that I have to do. I have things I want to do in here. I have sometimes stamped things. Sometimes I've doodled. It's up to me and what I do. But I keep track of it. I use this all the time in my day-to-day life. I love the month view. If I know I have something, I can go in and stamp it. As you can see, I'm looking at my month of August, and I'm pretty busy, clear up to the 19th. I have meet the teacher. I have all these appointments. I have the first day of school. I have a lot going on. So I think this is a great feature to use, and a lot of people don't use it properly. So that's an idea of how I use mine. What about yours? Well, this is similar to the agenda that you'll be given. This is last year's agenda. You're going to notice straight off the bat, you can see my name. I've written it in here. I would definitely recommend that you write your name on it. But the other one I would like you to really focus on is where it says homeroom. Be sure to write your advisory teacher's name down. That way, it will get back to you and they know where to take it. Now, this other information, I'm not so keen on that in case you left it at, say, the Napa Library or the Middleton Library. You might want to write just Vision Charter School in there so that it could get back to you that way. So the first couple pages of your agenda have lots of planning and how to use it. And then right after that, you get the month view. Now again, I love that month view. You can see I have meet the teachers and the first day marked. Now, let's say I went to class on Tuesday, November 3rd, and Mr. McDougall told us on the 19th we would have a pre-calculus test. So on the 3rd, I would come in here and I would write pre-calc test so that I knew what I was doing. Now, I'm real big into color coding, so I use yellow with highlighter to highlight my tests on my book. You can notice I've also crossed off days where we don't have school. I've made note of the end of the semester. Maybe you have a semester-long project that you need to have completed by then. So you're also going to notice that I've invested in some tabs. I think they were about $2 at Walmart. And what I've done is I've put one for each month. It just makes it easier for me to see things. So let's go in and look at an actual example of how you could use your agenda. So I took these assignments directly off of blogs from the school. You're going to notice in yellow, I've written down tests, whether I had the test that day or I know a test is upcoming so that I can study for it. Another thing that probably jumps out at you are my highlighting in orange. That, for me, is when I use projects. If I have anything that's going to take any length of time, research, or anything like that, I'm definitely going to make sure that I highlight it in orange so that I know it's a project and I need to be continually working on it. Even if I don't have homework in that class, I still need to be working on it. Let's look at Wednesday. On Wednesday, I had in math, I had page 262, and I needed to do 8 through 22 even, and I needed to work on the take-home test. Notice I'm only writing down homework. I am not writing down everything that we do in class. I'm only writing down homework or things that I need to be working on. So on Tuesday here I have study for a test, which is highlighted yellow, because I know on Thursday in Spanish I'm going to have a test. Another thing that a lot of people aren't doing is using these for your real life. There's no reason why you can't use them for all aspects of your life. So here you're going to notice a couple of other things. Here I've noted that as a teenager, I need to work from 4 to 9 o'clock. On Thursday, I need to work from 5 until past 9 o'clock. Wednesday, I have youth group at 7 o'clock. On Saturday, I need to work from 12 to 4. You can also make note of things in the upper boxes like birthdays. They also include a box right up here for thinking. This is a great place for a goal. Maybe your goal is to check the portal every 2 weeks so that you can stay on top of your planning and your grades. Then you can put it in on the week you need to check it so that you know that you need to check it. Here, you're going to notice that I have written in a long-term project. So I have a semester-long project, and I have written in chapters 2 and 3 in both books. Well, as soon as I get that done, I can mark that off, and I would continue to do that so that I know that I'm going to accomplish that semester-long project. Another thing that often gets missed is some quotes. They have great quotes in them. And then they also have book suggestions, which are always good. Yeah, even if it's below your reading level, it never hurts to read a good novel. So, the last thing that you will find in mine, I go to the last tab, and this is last year's agenda. Remember that. So things are going to be a little different for this year. But there are all kinds of helpful hints back here. Oh my goodness. It is just a landmine of wonderfulness. From maybe you don't remember what an article is. Here it is. Maybe you don't remember some of your factoring in algebra. Well, here you go. Maybe you don't remember your measurements, because let's face it, going from customary to metrics can sometimes be a pain. Here it is. Oh, here's more math pages. Here's some science pages. We've got physics equations. We've got the periodic table of elements. We've got all kinds of stuff. And not to be outdone, here's some social studies stuff, from our presidents to maps with capitals listed, North America information, and then they also have sometimes these type of pages. This is a great page if you're in high school. It's called graduation planning. What do you need to take each year to get this done? And what's required and what have you accomplished? Okay, and then there's other things like records of achievement. Man, if you get an A on a test, you ought to be proud of yourself. You could keep track of that. Keep kind of a running score, which would help you know what your grades are in classes. And last but not least, that most important thing that most kids believe the agenda is for in middle school and high school, the hallway pass, so that you can go to the bathroom or get a drink. You cannot keep it all in your head. Bring your agenda to and from school every day. Always take your agenda to class with you. Before you leave class, write in your agenda if you have homework to complete, an upcoming test to study for, etc. Don't forget to get your parent to sign your agenda each week if required. Your agenda will help you to be organized, which leads to better grades. If you haven't really used your agenda in the past, it's going to take practice and time to get used to it. So, there you have it, the ins and outs of agendas. Should you still have questions, be sure to check with your advisory teacher. Also, Make sure to check and see if you're one of those students that's required to have a weekly parent signature. That's pretty important because we like to keep parents involved. And parents, we like to know what's going on. So, until next time, have a tiggerific year.